Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 13th of June, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles, because they run to around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS-V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that will get us pretty much to the end of June. I'll get on with that for you in a moment. I want to say thank you again so much. Say again, thank you so much for the incredible messages that you've been sending about the death of my mum, Mrs. P, who died a week today. It was 1 week ago today, last Friday, 27th of May. So she passed away, she left us. And since then, the outpouring of love and support has been unbelievable. It's been incredible. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for the incredible messages that you've all been sending in. Across YouTube, across social media, emailing me, and whatnot. Amazing and unbelievable. And it does mean a huge amount. It means a great deal to me, and also to my family as well. So from all of us, from the Partridge family, I want to say thank you so much. Right, okay. So we're going to start. I'm going to start off having a look at a little bit of historic data actually today, because of course it's Jubilee weekend. We are celebrating 70 years, Platinum Jubilee, 70 years, wow, of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II being on throne. Her reign began on the 6th day of February 1952. So I thought I'd have a look at some charts, from a couple of key moments in the beginning of her reign. So the last time a monarch died was actually King George VI, the Queen's father, on the 6th of February 1952. That's the day that the Queen became, Elizabeth became Queen, Princess Elizabeth became Queen. So that day was like a mild sort of westerly day by the look of it, a classic sort of mild winter pattern. That with low pressure around Iceland and Greenland, and high pressure around France, and bringing in like a proper old westerly flow. So even back in the 70 years ago, we still had our fair share of mild winter days. A lot of the time, of course, there were very cold winters as well in that era, but summer winters were mild, and this one, 51, 52, I think was generally quite a mildish sort of winter. I don't think this is a particularly cold winter. And then, of course, we've got the 2nd of June 1952, which is like the Queen's second birthday, I think. So her main birthday day she was born was the 21st of April 1926. I wanted to show a chart of that, but unfortunately that day is absent within the archive. And then like the second day, like when she ascended to the throne formally, I think is from like 2nd of June 1952. That was like a pretty cool, unsettled, rather wettish sort of day with low pressure around northern and west parts of Scotland, bringing in that showery, cool northwesterly mate. It's not Coronation Day. A lot of people think that Coronation was in 1952. Actually, the Coronation was in 1953. There was a year that went by before there was the coronation. I suppose like formally many years ago, that would be like a year of mourning or something for the past monarch before celebrations were allowed to take place. I'm not sure why there was such a long delay between the King's death and the Queen's coronation, but the Queen's coronation occurred 1 year after that chart, which was on the 2nd of June 1953, Tuesday the 2nd of June 1953 was the day of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's coronation. And that was a very cold and wet day, very grim day, really, with that high pressure around Iceland and low pressure in the southern North Sea, and bringing those cold north-northeast winds. For many southern and east areas, it was a cold, wet day. I don't think it's quite as wet as that further northwest, closest to that high pressure, but all areas the winds in from the north. So it was a pretty grim day for all the celebrations, all the street parties and whatnot. that took place. I know Mrs. P had memories of the coronation. She was nearly 6 years old, I think, then. A month off being, or just over a month away from being 6 years old. And they did, like, in Northampton, they did like a fancy dress competition, and she actually won that. And she won I think she won a crystal bowl or something. A crystal bowl, I think, she won for winning this fancy dress competition. And she was running home, and she tripped and fell, and of course the crystal bowl shattered, so her pride shattered, and I think she was very, very upset about it. So she said, you know, I think she cried all the way home, but her crystal bowl had been shattered on Coronation Day in 1953. So anyway, I thought I'd just start off with a little bit of historic data, you know, on this day, celebrating, or this weekend, long weekend, celebrating the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. 70 years. Wow, I don't think, well, certainly none of us will live for a reign as long as that, and it's quite possible there will never be a reign as long as Queen Elizabeth II. So blimey, you know, it's a long time, isn't it? Long time. What a job she's done. Congratulations to the Queen. Right, okay, have a look at century and temperature then. So the CET is currently standing at 12.0, which is 2 degrees below average. That is provisional just for the first day of June, though. So that's only for day one, but the first day of the month was cold, you know, 2 degrees below average. The May figure is in finally, you know, finalised as well at 13.1. We talked about that, I think, yesterday, which is about 2 degrees above average. So we've gone from 2 degrees above average for May to 2 degrees below average June. But bear in mind that's just for one day, the first day of June. And we're going to see this lifting up quite sharply, I think, over the coming days, because it has turned a lot warmer. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles next couple of weeks. We're going to have Birmingham today. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. We're starting off around average at the moment. We can see upper air temperature becoming warmer over the rest of this weekend. I think it can get quite warm and humid into next week, looking quite warm as well. Beyond that, we just see those upper air temperatures still quite close to average. I think particularly exciting going on, although the operational run, which is this thick green line, that does take off time. Precipitation wise, there's going to be a lot of wet weather to come, especially in the next few days. So we are looking at heavy showers, maybe thunderstorms breaking out in the coming few days, especially like Sunday, possibly into Monday. And then after that, looks quite unsettled too. So it does look as though we're going into a much better spell of weather actually through the first half of June. We talked about this in the video yesterday. Yes, it will be a little bit warmer than it's been for the very end of May, beginning of June, but it's also going to be unsettled. I mean, there's definitely a possibility that there'll be some volatile weather going on. Some volatility is likely. Temperature anomalies from the 3rd to the 11th of June are around average, maybe a little bit below, if anything. And precipitation anomalies showing a proper north-south split, so northern areas look drier than normal, southern areas look significantly wetter than average. Latest wind from that from earth.noschool.net shows that we're bringing in an easy wind today, and the area of low pressure off the coast of Portugal is going to be threatened to bring up some heavy showers and maybe thunderstorms through the rest of the weekend to the south in particular. So this hour latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Monday under a shallow trough then that will be sparking potentially anyway heavy showers and maybe thunderstorms as well. That trough continuing to sit around the country into Tuesday, bringing further heavy showers, possibly thunderstorms too. And then through the middle part of next week, high pressure starts pushing up from the south. That will turn things drier and warmer across the southern half of the country, but it still looks rather unsettled out to the north and west, with this area of low pressure threatening more rain to western parts of Scotland. Icon looks like that. So again, trough of low pressure is across England and Wales on Monday. That will probably sparking off heavy showers, maybe thunderstorms, just within a general trough there by the time we get through to Tuesday. And then on through the middle of next week, this area of low pressure deepens in the Atlantic and sweeps into northwest Scotland. That'll bring wet and windy weather into the north and the west. And we finish up with Icon at midday next Friday, 10th of June, looking quite unsettled. Low pressure west Scotland, deep low pressure, 975 millibars, I think, so pressure for that, very deep low. So west of Scotland being wet and windy weather to the north and west, and all areas probably having showers or even some longer spells of rain. GFS midnight run, again with a trough of low pressure close to the country, bringing heavy showers, maybe some thunderstorms as well. And then through the second half of next week, low pressure comes in off the Atlantic. That will bring further showers or longer spells of rain, especially to central and also to northern areas. By day 10, again, low pressure out to the northwest, so further changeable weather at least is likely. Probably not too wet in the southeast corner, but most areas will have showers or longer spells of rain. And this unsettled weather then carries on until we get towards the final stages of the GFS midnight run, when a ridge begins to build more strongly over to the east of the country, and we start to pull up some hotter air from the south. So we start to push up this plus 15 Celsius ice firm, getting ever closer towards southern areas. And then we've got the GFS, so we ended up quite hot actually with the GFS midnight run. Then we go through to the GFS 6 end. Again, trough of low is over the country early next week. That'll bring heavy showers, maybe downpours, possibly some thunder. And then the second half next week turning rather wet and windy, particularly to the north and west. More low pressure around day 10. That could bring a bit of a deluge into more southern areas perhaps. And into our extended range, the unsettled weather goes on. Then right the way up to the end of the GFS 6Z run, gets us to 19th of June. We're putting in a little bit more of a cooler northerly to northwesterly wind then, with high pressure just out to our west. So big differences between the GFS midnight 6Z by the 19th of June. The GFS midnight looking quite hot with southerly winds, GFS 6Z looking quite cool with northerly winds. The precipitation forecast based on that GFS 6Z run, or I should say the accumulated precipitation forecast based on that GFS 6Z run, looks like that 5-day accumulation showing dry weather for northern and eastern area, not much rainfall to come in the next 5 days, no measurable rain for some northern and east area, but much wetter further south and western parts of Wales, the South Midlands, central southern England, up to 50 millimetres rain, 2 inches rain in the next 5 days. That's quite a lot. And in the next 10 days, this will be accumulated precipitation for the next 10 days. And again, you see, wettest is in the south and west. So in places in the next 10 days could go up to around 60, 70 millimetres. That's getting on for 3 inches of rain. Even in the east, we do start getting a little bit of rain coming through across those northern, northeastern areas in days 5 to 10. So definitely looking more changeable and wetter over the coming sort of week or so. If you're enjoying this video, then please smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much for doing that. And drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much, everyone. GEM, again, with low pressure bringing potentially some heavy showers and thunderstorms to England, Wales on Monday, within a general trough through the early to middle part of next week. And then this area of low pressure bringing wet and windy weather in off the Atlantic. In the second half next week, it was quite stormy, about summer gales up in the north, and all the way up to day 10, looking quite changeable. It's the next low, probably going to come in off the Atlantic and bring more wet weather, if anything. So the GEM looks really quite unsettled for the next 10 days. And then the ECM WF again, looking mixed, to say the least, through the early part of next week with showers, longer spells, rain, probably thunder. Low pressure then bringing wet weather in from off the Atlantic, so that rain will be heavy and there's a risk of, thundery rain, rather wet and windy by next weekend. Low pressure northwest of Scotland, dare I say, a tad autumnal there. And all the way up to day 10, just looks quite unsettled, to be honest, with low pressure never all that far away. That's the 13th of June, and low pressure well and truly in the ascendancy then. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So, over the next 24 hours or so, heavy showers will be flirting with the south. There could be some downpours around. So this afternoon, like for parts of Wales and the Midlands. And then overnight, more heavy downpours likely across southern areas. Been quite down for a while through tomorrow and then through late Saturday into Sunday. Perhaps thunderstorms across central and eastern areas trending northwards with further showers and longer spells of rain then from Sunday into Monday as well. A little bit drier patch for a day or two early next week, and then we're back into more wind and rain, this time heavy persistent rain coming in off the Atlantic later next week, with further showers and longer spells of rain, never all that far away up to day 10. It looks very changeable, doesn't it? This is the option on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. It will get us to the 13th of June. 51 members of the ECM ensemble, 51 out of 51, all of them with low pressure over the top of the country. Looks a bit ominous that for the middle of June, doesn't it? They're all going for low pressure to be sitting over the country, bringing cool and unsettled weather. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 18th of June. 22 members of the ECM ensembles will have low pressure over to West Country, so still unsettled and changeable with that. 19 slacker with the gradient, but probably still dominated by at least an upper trough at the very least, and then 10 much more towards high pressure. So we do have 10 that have high pressure taking over, but I think day 10 definitely looking very unsettled, and possibly carrying on into day 14 as well. Lastly, the CFS-V2, so it's a 500 millibar height anomaly is broken down to week periods. The first week period will take us from the 3rd to the 9th of June. The coming week will have a ridge that is weakening as lower pressure comes in from off the Atlantic. So by the time you get through to week 2, which is the 10th to the 16th of June, we're looking unsettled and changeable. Low pressure is in from the Atlantic, so it's a case of showers and longer spells of rain and unsettled weather too. Week 3 is going to be the 17th to the 23rd of June, with high pressure then over to the east of the country, low pressure out west. So that's probably still a bit changed, but probably still quite showery, but should be relatively warm. Winds up from the south, and then week 4 going to be the 24th to the 30th of June, with high pressure around Spain and bringing like a westerly flow. So I think it's looking mixed, let's say, at the very least for June, if not unsettled. If you enjoyed the video, then please go and use the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. And don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids. And drop a comment for us so we can listen to all of our videos. Thank you so much, everyone. Right then, so we're done with the video for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another 10 to 14 day. Obviously, all of the additional add-ons are on the back burner at the moment. It will come back later on in June. So yeah, later on in the month it'll come back, but at the moment I'm just doing one video a day, which is for 10 to 14 days. So you enjoy the rest of your Jubilee Friday. And for this one, I'll see you tomorrow, and for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.